सरू में ट्रक लिया ना स्टार्टिंग में खुद चला रही है वो तो 10 महीने में नई ट्रक का मैंने पैसा कमाया 10 महीने में इतनी कमाई थी
personal and intimate stories. Yeah. The first one about this, I guess, imaginary romantic relationship between this man and a woman, where she's reading out a letter, which is written in the masculine gender, and it's a woman's voice reading it out, which is odd to start with, and then you figure out what's going on. And then Manju Ben's story, where everything that is personal, whether it's about gender, it's about her life, it will be about sexual orientation, and whatever you may associate with this character. Just the kind of intimacy and warmth that the filmmaker and the entire crew has towards her. All of that is there, but not really overtly discussed. And it's interesting how you put these films together. So do you want to talk a bit more about it?
Yeah, and actually, I've always felt like, it's a big burden, right, in documentary filmmaking. You're not really supposed to talk about emotion, actually. You're always supposed to draw emotion out of the subjects in the film, for the purpose of making the film, but not really create a film which will draw emotion out of the people who are watching, or be irrigated by your emotion in a sense, which is what I think these films do. I think in both the films, what is really unique for me is that, as you pointed out, gender just goes for a toss, right? One is that the first film has a male gender read out in a female voice. It seems to be the story of the man, but it is read out by a female voiceover artist. The second film, of course, gender is like spoken about but never explained, and it manifests itself in so many ways. Every time you get a fixed idea about what gender means, it turns it around for you. I think both films do something that is common to a lot of Indian filmmaking, not common to all documentary filmmaking. It really foreground the role of pleasure. Both the films speak about pleasure very easily. I think Manju Ben's character itself is so interesting because she just proceeds from the point of mujhe shock. I told him I can't stay with you. Mujhe ghumna hai. It's all about what is pleasurable to her, like making money.
Of course, it's a little heavy going. It's just sorts of cars. And you've seen like already, you guys had seen 2 films about cars before then. So you're like, some people are surely thinking more cars, more roads. How many shots of roads and cars will there be? And she doesn't say anything. The filmmaker doesn't ask anything. We don't learn anything about her for a good 20 minutes into the film. And then too very slowly. Once we start getting to know her, suddenly we feel we know her very well. And we get to know her better and better and better. But she remains enigmatic also. So it's very much similar to getting to know somebody in actual life, where you do not dare to ask them a personal question the first time you meet them. And they choose when they will tell you what they want to tell you. And I feel it's very interesting how the film, mimics that process of real life getting to know somebody. I think it's pretty important that people who are working with documentary think about these things, as well as people who are watching documentary or consuming stories about real life. Why do we want to know? Why do we think of intimacy just in one way? And of course, the second film is also asking all those questions about the idea of intimacy itself. When people are lovers, what is the nature of their intimacy? What intrudes on the intimacy? What you imagine is intimacy, but it actually is not intimacy. Or perhaps intimacy is felt only when finally you are free of each other. So I think all of these questions run through the films. I think there are questions, of course, about life itself, but there are definitely questions about documentary practice.
And of course, the typical Ruchir cockiness, running shots backwards and following certain characters and not other characters and so on. So there's all that tongue-in-cheek humor happening. I found the voiceover really annoying with the way she was reading Hindi, But again, that is Ruchi's sense of humor, where, he's never doing anything straight, He's always twisting things around and, making you re-examine what he's doing. So
also, as a filmmaker, I think the most important thing about Ruchir, like right from his first film was a 2.5-hour film about bowls. And it's never that kind of ethnic movie making, He doesn't go for the authenticity thing. That if somebody's going to read the voiceover in Hindi, that Hindi has to be good Hindi, because it's not good Hindi. There's a little bit of awkward kind of phrasing in it that has been translated from English into Hindi. It's been retained. Very easy to change it if you want, because Ravi Kant, who's written it with him, obviously his Hindi is great. So there's this thing of keeping it as you experience it, not going for that authentic thing, not going for authentic jazz, but just some like My Fair Lady song sung by some friend of his. That is always what makes his films very vibrant, because he's somehow classical but not orthodox. That's, I think, what is really nice about it.
And he gets a Bengali woman to speak in Hindi.
That is the kind of subversive.
Yeah.
Also, please notice there's also Gujarati theme running through the films because Ruchir is Gujarati and Manju Bain is in Gujarat.
And then Manju Bain, the sole character, and the intimacy that. And for me, of course, there's a kind of Indian film history connection happening here with Lalita Krishna as the editor, who was Manikal's editor. So it's Uski Roti.
Yeah, that's true.
Completely inverted.
That's
it's
true.
a truck driver who's a woman, and she's driving, and she's not waiting beside the road
For
for her
those who
husband to
don't
come.
know, Manikal made a film called Uski Roti. Lalita Krishna edited it. She edited it, right? But she was married to him and she did edit some of his films. And Uski Roti is about a woman who is married to a truck driver. And the whole film is about her waiting. When does he come? When does he not come? She waits at the side of the road to give him roti. And Manju Bain, truck driver, is, of course, the opposite of that. Here is this woman who's driving a truck and waiting for nobody and nothing. Hurry up, hurry up. Time is up. It's the way of talking, right?
Works at like 4 times the pace of Uski Roti. So.
Well, that's saying something still.
Yeah. Anyway, in jokes apart, I think I'd like to open it up to questions and comments from the audience.